In this video, I want to talk about when a young narcissistic woman, the way she treats, let's say, I'm going to make up a fictional story, the person that's going to be her stepmother-in-law, as she wants to be, eventually. Okay. So the scene would be that it's the dad to an adult son. Say the dad is a baby boomer and the adult son is a Generation X and the young woman is a millennial. Okay. And she's dating this man's son, and it's the woman, the mother, stepmother. Okay, you're the stepmother of this adult son of your husband's. Got all that? So, you know what I'm talking about. So anyway, they come over. You know, you're going to finally meet this young woman, you know, that he's been dating, and you've helped raise this son. And so they come over for a barbecue. Let's say barbecue. And it's just the four of you. You, your husband, and, you know, them. And immediately, when this young woman comes in, I'm going to put it this way. She walks in dressed like a hoochie mama. Okay? You're like, whoa, really? Now, her personality, though, or let's say, she's in a good way, okay? Her personality, you know, from the start seems okay. And she seems like a respectable, that's the word I'm looking for. You know, from a respectable family person, you know, all around. Until you kind of start to get to know her. So, you know, really her way of she's dressed seems a little bit off. Okay? And I know people will say something about that. Respectable. That's up to you. Whatever it is to you, you know. So anyway, you're sitting there and you sit down in the living room, you start talking, you greet one another. And the next thing you know, what she's doing is to you, the woman, future mother-in-law kind of person, and she's treating you like you do not exist, just like I said in another video. Like you don't really exist, your opinion doesn't matter, you are not a voice of authority on anything, and the men are not noticing it, or at least they're not saying anything. And you see what she's doing, you get it. She is setting it up to where anything that you say, any reaction you have, if it's negative toward her, will make you seem like the stereotypical mother-in-law type, okay? But you know it because you actually had one of those stereotypical mother-in-laws, you know? Mothers-in-law. I'll say that right. But yeah, so you see her setting it up, and you had told everybody you would never be that stereotypical mother-in-law. And so this young woman's setting it up to where you look like that. No. Now, I'll tell you right up, I don't have the answer to it because each situation is different. Each person, people in it, is different. I mean, it's like the same kind of situation, but the people are too different. So one size is not going to fit all. Now, me, I have basically, I don't want anybody to take my advice because, you know, it can be dangerous. And I'm not a healthcare professional provider. Read the disclaimer in the description box below this video on YouTube. Cut that out. Anyway, anytime I've ever run across this, and I have run across this kind of thing before, and it might not even be that exact situation, but yeah, something very similar. I don't know. I get, maybe this is what they call a narcissistic flea. You know, the bad behavior pick up from somebody who's a narcissistic type person. But I find some way to have a little, you know, to make it funny. And that could be that whole, you know, you could say that whole, what is it called? The comedian in the family, but not that kind of funny. I hate to admit it, but I'll make it embarrassingly funny for the person. Not really a humiliation, but I'll point out what they're doing in a way that they're not ready for, they're not expecting, because it would take it away, it would twist it back around, and they're taken aback, you know, because they don't have that script, and everything that they seem to do and say, they have scripted it. You know, it's been, you know, it's a script. They've polished over the years. You know, especially when somebody's young, you know, not so much. But I have learned different ways in different situations to turn them around. Especially like when they pout. You know, I had this recently come up this woman, she wanted her way with everybody involved, including me, and she didn't get it. Okay, because the men made, and first I did, and she, you know, made it logical that she wasn't going to get her way for whatever reason. Made a logical thing, like the weather kind of thing. Well, she didn't listen to me, of course. You know, my opinion. She doesn't say it out, you know, outright, but my opinion doesn't really matter. She will say something that hints at that. Well, the man took it up and said, yeah, you know, like, you know, the weather, that's not going to work because the weather's, you know, going to be bad, kind of thing. And she pouted. Okay, she pouted. Actually, you know, bottom lip sticking out, pouting. Okay, and like I've basically hinted at, I'm not always the nicest person in that kind of situation, especially after somebody does something like that to me. And I basically pointed out that she was pouting. You know, I pointed it out. And ooh, you know how it is with that type. And of course, the other people around, you know, they weren't going to say anything because, you know, a lot of people know that this kind of person will then turn on them. You know, I'm not fearing so much anymore. I really don't. I really am not. I've had enough of that. You know, fearing what they're going to say. So what? They don't like me? Too bad. You know, if the people around going to see it as, you know, it's my fault, I'm doing it, eventually they'll find out the truth. Now, I've lived long enough to see it, that eventually they will find out the truth. They can go ahead and say what they want to about me, bye-bye, you know, that kind of thing. I can go no contact, no problem. You see what I'm saying? But that's not for everybody. And as everybody knows, it can be dangerous. And, you know, you have a really narcissistic person on you, yeah, it can be dangerous. Especially when they have a lot to lose, you know? Or not even, sometimes. All right, that's enough for now.